He was a man, they say he was simple. He took less than a day had time. You could see in his eyes just what he lived for.
Hey, Trapper Dan here. It's not trapping season anymore for, regular fur bearers, but trapping season never stops, and there's always something to do. Like, a good trapper is always preparing, and there's a lot of reasons why. One is saving money, and the other is saving your garden. So I got this Comstock trap for trapping raccoons in a swampy area. It's also good for beaver, this one, but today we got this Ground Hog because he has been wreaking havoc in our garden, and all I did was leave this end closed and threw some strawberries in there and left this end open. This is one that you can go through both sides. There's a trigger in the middle, and he or she tripped it. And this is a big one, so probably mom or dad, and it'd be good to get him out of here. Yeah, so I have these garden beds, and I do have it fenced in, and I have hardware cloth around the bottom, but they get in, they just get in. And my arugula and my lettuce, they just clip them right off. Last year they clipped off everything. Luckily some roots were still good and things came back, but man, groundhogs can just wreak havoc, and they get under my fur shed here and yeah, cause a mess. Yeah, so I just dispatched this groundhog in the cage, and we're gonna go get rid of him now and reset this trap. I have a hole here where I can bury. Rest in peace. Okay, now gotta show you what's in this bag. It's May, so maybe you have a guess. Oh boy, there's something poking out that's gonna give you a little hint on that. But this is part of trapping prep, taking advantage of the season. So got two buddies who are big turkey hunters. Well, I don't know if they're big turkey hunters, but they get turkeys. So we're gonna get a bunch of feathers here. This is like gold for bobcat trapping. So I'm gonna head into the woods here and find a spot to pluck a bunch of feathers and get them in my Ziploc bag. Yeah, so we have the breasts cut out of these turkeys, but a lot of feathers and good things here for trapping. Right, so anybody who watched my trapping season knows that I was trapping bobcats, and I mainly used cubbies. I think I got one bobcat on a dirt hole, but for the cubbies, what I use is a big sort of explosion of feathers. And we're lucky in New York State, you can use natural feathers. In some states you can't use natural things, so I think that's pretty terrible, because what happens is guys sometimes go and buy you can buy imitation feathers on Amazon and stuff in different colors, but the problem with that is they're not organic and natural, so you're probably polluting plastic and stuff that's just gonna stay out there. You're never gonna get all those feathers back. So I love this. I wish I had time to turkey hunt myself, but I have a couple buddies who saved their turkeys for me. So I'm taking off all these great feathers to make explosions, and I'm gonna make Ziploc bags. And then I'm gonna clip these wings too, so that I have parts of these for my flagging. Remember, that's what we're hanging above the trap area to bring the cats who are hunting with their eyes into the area with curiosity. I usually put some purple or blue tape with that too, because I hear that bobcats see blue and purple really well. But the feather is great because it's gonna spin. This is what we do when it's not trapping season and we're thinking about the season coming. So I'm gonna hang all these up in my shed and have Ziploc bags ready for trap sets to make feather explosions. Yeah, so out of those 2 turkeys, I got a bunch of bags of body feathers and neck feathers to make that fluffy explosion, and a whole bunch of wing feathers to make flags. Hey everybody, it's a beautiful April 23rd, and trapping season has been over for a few weeks. Just out hiking because I miss being outside, really. Did a bunch of work and I'm like, all right, I gotta get back out on the trail. So I'm standing at what used to be a beaver pond. So I've harvested from this location for probably about 5 years, and it's super interesting to see the landscape that was under the water, how many trees they felled. And I think, this is, what would you say, cyclical? Like, some beavers are probably gonna come back into this prime spot and start managing the dam again. I saw there was one dam way back on the other end actually already. Not sure if that's an old one, but it was extraordinarily preserved. Should have got a picture of it. Any case, yeah, I'm just looking for prints in this nice mucky track preserving landscape, and mostly just seeing deer and raccoons. I think I saw one set of fisher tracks back there. And right here, I'm standing on a section that I got a double on a couple years ago, right about here. And I just want to show you that I knew that the beavers had a bank den just across from me, right over there. I'll show you on the camera. Flip it around. So right over in here, right in there, you can see where they piled up, starting almost like a lodge. It looks like they might have had like a stash of their winter food there too, but they were denning in those holes underneath the edge of the river, just above the water's edge. They'd have to go in the water to get into those and then come up out of the water, and they'd have a nice hole under there. In any case, let's go look at the dam. So I was in here at this dam this winter, and I could see that the beaver weren't really maintaining it, but it was still holding water back. But it looks like all the heavy rain we got blew away one side of the dam, and that's why this pond just rapidly emptied back down to its original stream. So you can see the earth under this bank here just got totally blown out, because this stream became a river really, and it just in this corner the dam started to give way, and then it just blew right through. I'm standing on the dam right here, and it just blew right through that side over there. I don't think that humans pulled this apart, especially because you can see how eroded the bank is under there. DEC didn't come in and dig that out. I don't believe that was water damage. I don't know about you, but I think it's pretty cool to watch, what these beavers can do, engineering the outdoors to, fit their life and provide, real diversity. I knew all of this when it was a stream, and then saw it turn into a beaver pond, and now it's back to a stream. So really interesting. We'll keep an eye on it over the next few seasons, see if some new beavers, move into here. And we'll be checking other areas on this property. This is Tivoli Bays. I believe it's like almost 2,000 acres. It's one of the largest wildlife management areas in New York State, about 2 hours north of New York City. Yeah, right on the Hudson River. Pretty awesome hikes and beautiful rolling landscape. Hey everybody, Trapper Dan here at the Trapping Honda Fit. I have what's left of my fur from the season, and it's a few more fox and some muskrat and the one big coyote and a bunch of raccoons. Anyways, I'm going to go meet the Groenewold truck in Kingston at their pickup. And those of you who don't know, these are one of the biggest fur buyers in the nation and parts of Canada. They have a truck route. This will be their second stop in Kingston. They came earlier in the season and now after the end of the season. And they grade and buy fur and pay you a check right at the truck. So hopefully I'll get to video that. I did sell to Gary last year at the truck a bunch of beavers. Had a great beaver season last year. Not too many this year. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I have the beaver in the freezer, so I got to throw those in too. But let's talk a little bit just about the furs here. As many of you know, this is my first year putting up fur. Putting up means scraping and drying and preparing the furs to hold dry and then sell to a user or get tanned myself. And in fact, a couple of these I'm going to tan, but I'm going to bring them to see if Gary will grade them just to let me know how I did. Yeah, so here are the beavers. Just pulled them out of the freezer. As you can tell, they're a little frosty. I'm hoping that doesn't become too wet, because I didn't really put them away wet, which you shouldn't do, but because they were in a freezer, I don't know what this is, a little tag on there. They were in a freezer that gets frosty, so they got a little frost built up on them just from being in there. Anyways, that's a real big one. That was a 60 pounder. This one was 39 and the other one was 50, I think. So I just wanted to show you with my raccoons. By the way, a lot of you probably know this, but I'll point some things out. With fox and coyote and what else? Fox, coyote, bobcats, right? The fur remains out. But on same thing for beaver, but beaver are open skinned, so well, I'm getting a little distracted. But anyway, these guys are folded in half with the skin side in, and they're green, they're not dried, they're ready to go. And the buyers kind of want them that way, so I didn't waste my time scraping and stretching those in a circle or an oval, okay? But with the fox, bobcats, which are already gone, and the coyote, the fur is out. I love these this way because it's so nice to walk, to see the fur and feel the fur. It's just amazing. With the raccoons, the skin is out, but I learned that you should have an inspection window so they can see and feel the fur there. But I also learned that you don't need to cut too much out. With these ones here, you can see the skin is not blue. So blue is a rush of blood in the early season when they're still developing their fur for the winter, and that would tell us that they're a little too early. So these guys are not early, but there's a bunch of red there. I don't know if that's considered damage. I did use borax on these, so they're a little bit speckled, but I cut the inspection window pretty big. And on these ones, I used a wire. So this is a wire stretcher, and I guess that's not preferred. So I had gotten a gift certificate for Cabela's from someone, and the only thing I could find to buy was these coon stretchers, and most of my coon are done on wire, which makes them too wide at the bottom and not long enough. So too bad on that, but I'm learning. So I bought these coon stretching boards, used ones from Chappie, and I just had one coon left, so I did that one on the board. So supposedly when they're dry enough, you should be able to hold them, and the tail will stick out straight like that. And you can tell since I got the boards late, I just got this one, so it's not completely dry yet, although I think that it's fine. So anyways, I know he's going to be working fast with all the trappers, but I am going to see if I can try to ask him some questions. Oh, and by the way, this is just one of my muskrats. So with the muskrats, you do the skin out as well, and that's the only thing on a wire stretcher that's good. They like that. It's a little easier to stack and sort them. And I guess this is called the saddle. So on a muskrat, you're not supposed to scrape them real hard and pull that saddle off. You want to leave that on and just get the fat off, and you're good to go. So anyways, these guys are really bad this year as far as having any market. A lot of them didn't sell at the auctions and stuff, I guess. So might be lucky to get $1 or $2. Not sure on the coons because he might say some are damaged. I have no idea, but maybe $5. And then I'm gonna have him grade my fox and coyote, but I'm probably keeping at least 2 or 3 out of 4 on the foxes and the coyote to tan myself for some other projects. And let's see what he gives us for the beaver. I think they're going from anywhere from $15 to $30. had to get motoring in the Trapping Honda Fit now because I'm running a little late. Who knows how much of a line of trappers is going to be there, and then I'll have to wait in that line. All right, made it to the parking ride. There's a truckload, 70. Hey, Trapper Dan here. We're waiting for the Groenewold truck over at the parking ride in Kingston, and I met Donald here. I know Donald because I was at the trapping seminar this year with him. So, when did you start trapping?
About 10-12 years ago. Started trapping some racks and stuff, and the last couple of years is when I really started picking up.
Yeah.
Once I started working for Mark is when it really started getting crazy.
So he's working for Mark. So any viewers that have been on Trapper Dan's Trapline Talk, you've seen Chappie, also Mark. He has Catskill ADC. So these guys do full-time trapping, really, right?
Yes, 365 days a year.
Yeah. What mostly do you take care of?
Ground hogs, coons, squirrels.
Really?
Pretty much anything that gets in people's houses.
Yeah, raccoons in the attic and stuff like that.
We got a account with the county where we do all their nuisance trapping for beavers.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We trapped quite a bit of beavers.
So are you able? I have no idea about this in like nuisance control work. Can you also harvest from the animals when you're doing
during
that?
the season? Yes.
Only when it's in the season. So as soon as the
season closes,
you can't. But it kind of makes sense because the fur's prime in the in the season anyway. It's not like
most of the work comes in springtime. I mean, you have those oddball jobs in the summer.
Yeah.
Mostly springtime is when we're getting at it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so, how did the beaver go for you this year?
Not too bad. I think we're just about 50 this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy customers.
Yeah, tons of them. We're busy.
I was just visiting a beaver site I've trapped for about 5 years that the big rains washed the dam out, and I don't know if it's between me and other trappers, but there's no beaver anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very interesting how the landscaping changed. How do you guys do it? Like when you're working for someone, can you actually deconstruct the dam or anything like that?
Yeah, we'll kick some holes in the dam, get some water flowing, and that's typically where we'll catch our beavers.
Gotcha.
And then once we're sure that there's no beavers left, we'll open the dam up slowly so we don't flood anything, and then we're out from there.
Yeah, and then you guys have permission to help the landowners out by not just taking out the animal, but also taking down the construction.
Opening up the waterway again. Yep, getting water flowing.
Do you find that the beaver come right in when you make that hole in the dam? They're like,
once they hear that water flowing, they're there.
They hear it and they come back.
Yep.
It's interesting because a couple places I was at, well, I was only at a couple places this year, but one of them, there was some natural breakage of the dam, and so the water level was going down a little, but they didn't mess with it.
No.
And I don't know, it seemed like they were only in there like once a week, and they weren't where I wanted them.
Yeah, they're probably not resident beaver. They're probably just traveling through there.
Yeah, so they're like, it's not my dam, so I'm not going to maintain it, It's somebody else's dam.
Yep.
But I went there yesterday and I saw where the water went down. The water's all the way down to a stream. Well, you can see their bank dens, which is kind of cool.
You see the holes going into the mud.
Yep, holes in the mud on the side, just below where the water level was. So I knew they were in there. They were starting to almost build almost like a lodge over it. It wasn't like a full lodge, but they had put a few sticks over it.
Yeah, we just went and checked on our way here. Checked one of our jobs and found a couple bank dens. Now that the water's low, getting up in there.
Yeah.
Still got a couple beaver we got to get out of there. But,
oh yeah, yeah. Do you catch like specific beavers first, like young ones that might
usually
not?
Catch the big ones, and then once the big ones are out, is when we start catching the small ones.
Really? Yeah.
It all depends on how far you are from their lodge. I mean, the farther you are from the lodge, typically the bigger ones. Once you get closer,
because the smaller ones might be staying closer to home.
Yeah. Those bigger ones will travel out a little bit farther than the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Well.
That's interesting. Now, do you guys do cables with beaver?
We get the permit to do them, but we typically don't. Typically, we'll just get them in a 330 or a 750. Get them down under the water.
Just like a fur trapper. So with the cables, what's the downside with that?
I really don't have much experience with it, so I really couldn't tell you. I mean, I just do it the way I know how to do it.
Yeah, so for your viewers, it's not a snare, it's actually a restraining cable, and they're illegal in many states for other things other than beaver. They use cable restraints for canines in some areas. This way the animal is held alive and you can release it if you need to. so it's not a snare.
I mean, pretty much just putting a leash on them.
Yeah. Okay. So in New York, nuisance control trappers it's the only animal in New York that you're able to use a cable restraint on. You have to take a special test. It's a written test, or
I believe it's a written test, and you have to get the check mark in your permit when you file for your nuisance permits.
Okay. And so you guys went trapping with me on, and you saw my strategies. I'm more of a foothold trapper for beaver because I seem to be in areas where they're very shy of conibears. So, but I always imagine, if you could put a cable in there where you would have had a conibear, it'd be a lot more hidden.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you camo those body grips in good.
Yeah. So
get them in those travel ways.
Yeah, that works.
When you're in open water, just cast your mounds or kick a hole in their dam, get water flowing, and you'll get them.
Yeah. So now, do you have now that you're doing this work full time with Chappie, do you have your own trap line too that during the season?
You hit it
in the morning.
I've been running my own trap line for probably 10-15 years now.
What's your favorite thing to trap?
Mink and rats.
Oh, really?
Mink it's my favorite.
That's interesting. So
that's what I focus on.
You focus on mink and rats.
Yeah,
I know that.
And just jumping culverts, jumping bridges, stuff like that.
That's fun stuff.
Yep.
So when you say jumping, explain to me what that means.
Just pretty much putting blind sets in culvert pipes, pull over the side of the road, jump over the bank, get down under there, you're quick in and out, and you're putting fur in the shed.
Now, what if that's private property?
So bridges and culverts in New York State, as long as it's under a public road, it is public land. If there's posted signs, then you obviously have to ask the homeowner, but if there's no posted signs, you're legally allowed to be under there and do what you gotta do.
That was a test. Boy, he knows really well. Yeah, so that's really cool for trappers in New York, that those are options to, get these animals in their natural funnels where the mink and the rats are they're going through.
That's pretty much all it is. It's a man-made funnel.
Yeah. So do you have your mink here today?
No, we got rid of our mink a couple weeks ago. Mark brought them somewhere, and then we're gonna get a bunch of rats canned this year.
You're gonna tan the rats because the market's down and just hold them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sell them for pennies. We'll hold on to them until they're worth something, and then we'll get rid of them.
Yeah, I got just a couple incidental rats in my beaver trap, so I've got them here with me. But yeah, right now rats and coyote are just at the bottom, but cats and I want to say possum. No way, possum. I did sell. I saw Groenewold buying possums for $1 or $2 though. It was interesting, but I wanted to say otter and fisher.
Pretty good this year. Yeah. Beavers. We're about to see what beavers bring, but hoping for decent.
Yeah. So how did you do on your line with your rats and mink as far as numbers?
I mean, I had a pretty small line this year just because work was so busy. I think I did 25 mink and maybe 35, 40 rats.
Okay.
Nothing. I mean, I think I was running maybe 24 traps all year.
Wow.
So it really wasn't much, but kept me busy.
Yeah. Like I always tell people, I'm not a professional trapper. This is just my hobby. Mm-hmm. It's my recreation, and I feel like I'm a better person as a trapper, and it does something to you.
Oh, for sure.
You get out there in nature, and you see that every day, and you study the animals, and it's just it's exhilarating. And I imagine with your other work, it's you're putting in the hours too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trapping every day, so it's nice to be able to do some of my own personal trapping too, and it keeps me busy on the side.
Yeah, and you're not accountable to anyone but you for that. You're like, all right, this is my fun time.
Yeah. So I don't need to have a big trap line because it's what I do every day. So it's just fun, and that little bit of extra pocket change puts some gas in the truck.
Nice. So maybe next year. Well, so I officially have this on video that Chappie invited me to go on his mink line with him, and I never got to do it. I kept calling him like, when are we going? So he got too busy with your business and never got a mink line out. So maybe I can go with you next year.
Hey, I'm open for it. Let's go.
I'm just a helper. Who knows? I might be retired then and have some time, but it's kind of cool to do a ride along, with someone.
Definitely be open for that.
Cool. That'd be awesome.
Cool animals, and in my opinion, they have the nicest fur around here.
Oh yeah,
by far.
It's like muskrat fur is kind of like. Here comes Gary now. It's the fur that replaces mink. For those coat linings, very very soft.
Yeah.
Well,
very thick, nice fur.
Everybody, say bye to Donald, and thanks for talking to us. We appreciate it.
No problem. Any day.
All right. Hey, this is Logan from Saugerties. He traps with a couple buddies over there. You guys trap the same spot together, or?
We trap 3 different areas.
3 different areas. What are you mostly trapping?
Coyotes and fox. We catch a lot of fox.
Oh, that's cool.
Some beaver.
Reds or
muskrats.
grays? Mostly reds?
Mostly reds. We got a
Yep.
couple grays.
Well, that's cool.
We got 3 grays this year.
And you're trapping Saugerties, so are you getting into the Catskills a little bit?
A little bit, not too much, but right around the base of them.
Yeah, and are you doing, so it's farmland?
Farmland mostly, yeah.
And you're doing a foot line?
Yeah, footholds, yeah.
Sorry, walking line?
Walking, yeah.
Really, yeah? So you're out there every day.
Yeah, we're out there walking.
Sometimes do you, you know, if, like this year I was actually got really sick a couple of days and some buddies checked my line. Is that how it works for you too?
Not normally. Normally whoever's sick, you're still out there going to check your own line, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard, right?
One of those things, you got to be out there no matter what.
How long have you been trapping?
I started when I was 12.
Oh, okay.
I'm 25 now, so.
All right,
about
that's a good 13 years. Cool. That's awesome. There's not too many of us. That's why I'm trying to,
No
talk
doubt.
to people here.
It's good to get people into it.
We're just across the river from each other, and did you know that there's an Ulster County Trappers Association?
I did not.
And the folks that run it are here today, so I'll introduce you.
Yeah.
I actually joined because we don't have one in Dutchess County,
Yeah.
and I think we meet on the 3rd Wednesday of every month over here.
That's awesome.
So that'd be cool for you to meet the other guys.
No doubt.
So anyways, how was your season?
It was a good year. We had fun. Had
Yeah.
a blast, you know.
And you put everything up yourself in your
Yep.
place?
Yeah. Me and my buddies, we all take the time and put everything up at night after we get done, and
That's nice.
we all help each other out sometimes. Sometimes you can't get there every night, so the other
Yeah.
guys help you out, take care of it.
Yeah, that's good. Do you skin them and get them in the freezer and then get to scraping
We
later?
try not to put anything in the freezer. We
Just
try
go
to,
for
we
it.
try to scrape everything.
Yeah, just get it and get it done. And,
Get it done, get it put up.
Yep, that's
and then
cool.
we end up here.
Nice. I have a trapping buddy too. He doesn't put any fur up, but what's nice is we kind of work areas together, and we like teaching the youth too. So we'll have youth come over, Boy Scouts, or we had a gun club youth group come over. And so yeah, it's good camaraderie.
Good to get people into it.
Yep. Well, super awesome to meet you.
Awesome
Thanks
to
for
meet
being
you.
on Trapline Talk, and hopefully we'll see each other again.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thanks. Gary does it all the time. Here's Gary grading these furs. We got a. How many stops do you have today? Okay. He's counting. And this is Joey over here. Offloading his beavers. I'll jump up there and help you out. Bud? Yeah. Yeah, I would love to. It's my first year.
You got a 40, a 28, and a 22.
Okay, thank you. My question was inspection window. So small one. It is. That one I just put up, so it's not. Yeah, so all these I did on wire until a friend told me you should. I can do wire, but just
Two at 6, 2 at 4, and 2 at 2.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So don't throw all the fox up. Well, I might be keeping some. So. do that to see if any hairs are slipping when you shake it?
No,
Just to pull the hair up? Yeah.
They're gonna average 10.
Averaging 10. Okay. What are the two best ones? If they're all 10. So I'm letting Gary grade for me. Do the tails matter at all? That one's ripped, so
That one's 19.
yeah.
That's 5.
So you take that 5 and I'll take this one. Awesome. So these ones I'm selling to a friend to have tanned. He wants to do some crafting with them. So, well, it's nice of Gary to help us see what they were worth.
You got a 4 and a 2 on the rest.
Okay, thank you. Sometimes, excuse me? No, I got a coyote, but.
Coyote doesn't have any value.
And why is that?
It's red.
Just because of the color.
Yeah, and it's got
Yeah. The neck's missing, but okay. Well, we're gonna tan this anyway, so thanks, Gary.
You bet. Thank you.
Yep, have a good one.
Thanks.
Well, I got my fur check. Just driving away from the Groenewold Fur Truck right now. That was super exciting. I met more guys than I did last year, and honestly, I could have stayed and talked to even more, but I felt like I was overdoing it. Maybe, you know, people get a little bit nervous about being on camera, but in any case, a couple of the guys that I met, I talked to off camera, and it looks like I'll be going to do some interviews and going to some fur sheds where some trappers that are nearby me are actually doing the same stuff I am, so it's kind of cool. I got $40 for the big beaver. That's the most I ever got for a beaver, so that's encouraging. I didn't have any caster to sell, as I said, but I checked the price, $15 a pound, man, that's super low. Even talked to some of the other trappers on the side, and they were like, nah, I'm not selling it for that. We could go directly to lure makers and, you know, get much better price. So, yeah, anyways, I found out I got the 2 reds back there in the back that I'm going to have tanned. Another thing I learned right there is that I could use wire stretchers, so I don't have to try to sell those or repurpose them. I just have to make them more narrow. So that's good. He didn't seem to mind the inspection window being big, so that's interesting too. Although the one that I put on the board he said was perfect, and that one I didn't leave much of an inspection window. So I can't honestly remember what I got for the coon, and I'm driving right now, so I can't read the paper. But yeah, I'm encouraged because I know that I could be a better trapper in years to come, and it's just really, really encouraging to see what you can get and put these furs onto the market for their uses. Obviously, I should spend more time focusing on otter and fisher and bobcats and beaver. Those are basically the top 4 in terms of value. But having fun. I think I forgot what I got for the muskrats too, but you know, not too much, but hey, it's real. That was super fun. I think that it was enough that this is probably an entire episode of Trapline Talk, but I got some great connections to talk to some more guys about what they're doing and how they're learning and growing and enjoying trapping. So hey, remember, all of us snore, all of us trappers snore. Sustainable, natural, organic, renewable resource.